welcome back to another episode of Craft with Julie. Today I've got something kind of special for you guys to enjoy along with me. I'm making something for my daughter's birthday today, so stay tuned. All right. Hopefully, guys, we'll be able to see this really good. Today, to start off with this, we're making a bracelet for my daughter. And she's got a necklace somewhere that has a little smiley face. So I found this really cute little smiley face in my bag of charms. And that's what we're going to be working with today. This one's going to be a really simple bracelet. And I have several different round beads to go with. We actually need to start with this direction before I get too far ahead. I have everything all lined up the way I think I want it to look. I've been kind of playing around with this for a little bit, trying to figure out how I think would look good and that hopefully she will like it. And I am utilizing some of my spacer beads that I've gotten recently. Let me show you that before I get too much further. I don't know why I'm grabbing the case. I've got the bags right here. Got this little bag here that has several of these long pieces or wide cylindrical pieces. And then my discs that I'm going to put right here in the middle. And now right here in between, I have my little flowers that I don't know. Hopefully you guys can kind of make that out. I hope. Hope it's not too small or the light's not glaring on it too much. Then we're going to use that to kind of separate. I gotta make it just a little bit girly. That's going to go right there. Got to keep my pattern going. I don't want to mess it up too much. I'll show you guys as I'm going along. This one I really lucked out on. I have this whole case right here of all these really awesome round beads that I was able to choose from. And it was very weird that I found two actually that did this, two groups of these beads that they're stuck together. But the funny thing is they were lined up just perfect for all the holes to line up. And I didn't have to worry about trying to break them apart to get them to fit. I was like, hey, why not? They're going to be sitting side by side together on the bracelet, so might as well just leave them stuck together. But I just thought it was crazy that I ended up with two sets just like that. I thought, well, it must be meant to be then. Okay, so I got these really awesome, these black and white speckled ones. I have my little flower bead. And now I'm doing this, I guess you could say, kind of an opaque, kind of smoky gray. I really like that smoky gray. Alright, and this one's kind of a gray and white speckled one. So, I know there's kind of a lot of different elements to this. But I didn't want it to just be a plain Jane bracelet. I wanted it to have variety and just character to it. So hopefully this all works out for us. Okay, so I got that on there and another one of my flower beads. And I'm doing another one of those smoky grays. And now one of the discs. And then we're going to place our charm. Now it did not come with the jump ring, so to keep it from being too dangly and I didn't want it to cause any issues if I put too big a one, I used the smallest jump ring that I had in my collection. And put that on there. Do another one of the flat disc ones, and then back to the smoky gray. And the really fun thing about these elastic ones, I didn't even measure this elastic piece, but I know I'm going to be trimming some of it off, and it's really kind of hard to measure it. You're just going to have to take it off of your roll, and you're just going to have to kind of take a big chunk of it, put it around your own wrist, and use that as a gauge, because you don't want it to be too loose or else it's just going to flop around. You don't want it to be too tight. So you just have to take it and go through and just try to size it to your wrist or whoever's wrist, whoever you're making the bracelet for, the way it fits to that particular wrist. I don't know of any other way really that would be simple other than just to put it around your own wrist and then just cut that off. But always cut just a little bit extra, because you're going to need room to tie the ends off when you get done. And you can always trim it up. It's not a problem. Okay. Another of the smoky gray. All right, and now that we got those two, we go to our flower bead again. And I chose these little small dainty ones just because my daughter's not very floral or what have you. She's not into that kind of stuff. So I figured petite would be just fine. And I put my other little stuck together pairing there. And then I'm back to these again. Hopefully the camera kind of picks that up. It's got a neat little pattern on there. Get two of those on there. Then we do one more of the smoky gray, maybe. And then the solid black. All right. And there we go. I think that looks pretty good. So now for this part, you're going to just do a simple knot. Don't do the first part. It's going to be like a double knot, maybe even triple knot, just to make sure that it stays together. And then once you get your double knot, then you can kind of pull it kind of tight. And just for good measure, I'm going to go ahead and make a third knot. So I want to make sure that that stays together. And there we go. Then take you some scissors or some cutters of some kind. Let's see, I've got some scissors right here. Cut it kind of close to your knot, not real close, but just a little bit. And trim off that excess. And there you go. And then it just kind of just lightly stretch it, get it over your wrist, and everything all lines up together. So what do you think about that one, guys? Okay, now this one's going to be kind of a little bit bigger one, because I'm also making her a necklace. It's going to be just a bit different than how this one is. I used some different charms on it just because she kind of likes these type of charms. And I got it kind of started just because I didn't want to lose the pattern, and I also didn't want to bore you guys with a really long video, because there's a lot of beading to this, and that would take a very long time. So I have it pretty good and started. It's actually almost finished, but I can kind of take you through it a little bit, show you different beads that I used. I'm loving these round beads. These are more of the round beads that came out of that box that I just showed you guys. I had the smoky gray ones down here surrounding the charms, and on either side of the charms I have those the flat disc spacers that I showed you a second ago. These ones right here. you can use any chart or any of the spacers that you like. These are the ones that I've got, and I love these, so I am using them. And as I did those, I've got kind of the pattern of my beads right here, just single, and then as I did them out, I did them in the same color pattern. Then I started with the black, and then for these I did 6 of the colored beads, and just to kind of help space it out, because I wanted to use this entire piece of this wire, I used, it's kind of a, I don't know, it's a dark blue or kind of a purple color, just to add a little bit of contrast, make it, just kind of mix it up a little bit. And in between the sections here of the colors, when I go from one color, I use that kind of bluish purple color, and then I have my spacer. It's this really neat round one here. I love that pattern on that one as well. And I did that in between each section, but when I did 3 colors, I used this bead here that's kind of clear on one side with a crackle effect to it, and then it's black on the other side. There, I don't think there's any crackle to it. It's just kind of solid black on that one side. And I thought that would be a really neat addition. And then I come further out and I get 3 more colors done. And I used this one as kind of like a crackle smoky kind of thing. I don't know if you can see the ribbons of the colors in there with that. Something really neat and different. So, and then on this end here, I used one of these little claw clasps, and I'll show you what I did to help keep the wire on. Now this one I did measure. You can look up patterns off of the internet or Pinterest. That's where I found this particular one that gave me different measurements for how long you want the necklace to be, the chain or your cord or your wire, whatever you're working with. This one for her, I know she doesn't like very long dangly necklaces, so I'm hoping that for this one I did about 45 centimeters, and so I'm hoping that comes down to a pretty good length for her and it's not going to be too long for her. So to finish out the pattern, I need to do my yellow next. I have this kind of cool green here, kind of a lime greenish, and then I did yellow next. I already have my bluish purple bead on, so we're going to go right into the yellow and kind of slowly work with those. The end of my wire got a little bit bent, but I think that's just the way that I had it on its little spool and taped down so that it wouldn't come unwound off of the spool. And I really do like this wire because it's easy to work with, and it doesn't, like, you can kind of bend and it'll kind of keep its shape if you put a crease in it, but it works really good for doing beading like this. These seed beads do really good. Okay, so then we go ahead and we do this bluish purple. All right, and now we're going to this crackle of the smoky kind of crackly one. And then we do another of the blue purple bead, and it's on to the orange. So we're going to kind of separate those just a little bit. Okay. Yeah, this one took me a couple of nights of kind of sitting down and trying to get a pattern going and just kind of looking at it and just really thinking about, is this something that she would like? Is it something that she would wear? So I'm crossing my fingers. I hope she likes it. Now for the end, I only did 3 black beads just because with all these extra, the spacers and these extra beads here, that did take up a lot of the space, and it worked out great. So we got our bluish purple, then we're going to do 3 of the black beads, and then 1 more of the purple. Okay, now This part is going to be a little tricky. You might see me get a little flustered in this next part. So to help keep our little claw clamp on, we have some crimper beads here, and it works really good. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I only need one. And some of them are sticking to the little sticky strip that helps keep the bag closed. Let's get some of these extras out of the way. All right. So, how we'll do this is that with these claw clamps, there's a hole in the bottom. So you'll string your wire through the bottom. And it's okay if your clamp kind of dangles. That's not a big deal. We just want everything to stay on the wire. So, once we do that, then you're going to take your crimper bead and then carefully, so you don't fumble it like I just did, and I'm about to push my beads off. Oh goodness, that was so close. Okay, we may have to get maybe a little smart here. Okay, I'm going to try and hold it like this. Let's get, is that our narrow ones? Yeah. Okay, so don't squeeze it yet. I'm using my pliers, and I'm going to put it on the wire. Hopefully. Okay. Now, once you kind of get it lined up, and you got it all pushed down as close as you can to your beads. Let's see. I want to hold it. This is what I'm going to try and do, guys. Hopefully this works out. I'm going to hold the wire with these pliers, and then I'm going to find my crimper bead, take these, hopefully, this is just spinning around on me. Come on. And I'm going to squeeze that crimper bead as soon as I get my pliers around it. All right. Haha, success. All right. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up or not because everything is all about the same color and you got the lights on it and everything, but it crimped that little bead perfectly. So once you get your crimp bead smashed, crimped, whatever you want to call it, then you want to take your wire cutters here and just kind of nip it. Come on. Uh-oh, are these getting dull already? Surely not. Oh, that's not short enough. Whoop. And I might not have opened up my little clamp here enough to really get in there good to cut that part off. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. And try and kind of spread that open just a little more. Okay. Now let's try and see if I can get my cutters in there just a little better. There we go. Okay. Now that we got that cut short enough, if you can get your fingers to cooperate enough and this thing to stop spinning, then you can close it up. And it looks like it's not going to cooperate with me. So we're just going to take our pliers and pull it together like that. All right. Then you can take just a single plier, squeeze it together, get everything kind of lined up. Come on. There we go. All right. So there's that. Now we're going to close that bag up, or else I will lose all those little crimp beads and I will never find them. We've got one of our little claw clamps here. I am going to get a small jump ring. Let's see, it looks like I'm gonna need one of my other containers that has the bigger jump rings in, because I'm gonna need a bigger jump ring here in just a sec. Let's see, probably this one, this size here ought to do it. All right, so for this next part, take the small jump ring, put it through on this end. We're going to need to leave it open because we're going to put just a little section of a chain on there. So give me just one sec, guys. And this chain got very tangled up and is a big old mess. So I'm not even going to share that with you guys because it looks horrible. I had forgotten that it got all tangled up. And I haven't had a chance to go back through and untangle it. Okay, so if you want to add the chain like what I'm doing, just go through and figure out what size you like it to be. And then snip it. All right. Then, here we go. Have your pliers hold on to it. And get one of the links. Oh, come on. There we go. And take your other side of your jump ring through one of the links. And then grab your other pliers and close it up so that chain doesn't have a chance to fall back off. Because I know me, that would be my luck. All right. Now we've got the end of our chain and we have our bigger jump ring, about a medium-sized one. I think that would be okay. That should be big enough to clip to. And then we go to the other end of our chain and slip that through. And there we go. Now on this side, we're going to need to come back through and kind of open up this jump ring. If you can find the end of it, there it is. Okay. Ooh, no, that's not right enough. Let's try it again. And there we go. All right. Kind of squeeze those together. Let's get this and see if we can get that to go just a little bit more. All right. And there we have it. So see, I'm not perfect at getting the sizing just right. And what you could maybe do, and I might go back and do that as well, is put part of a chain over here on this end so that it comes a little bit more even. And I might do that now, actually. I think I might do that, the way this is not too long. Not a big deal right at all. Let's just do that right now that I've kind of got this all hanging there. Let's just do a small piece of chain there. Now to find the end of my chain that I just clipped off a few moments ago. So see guys, it's probably a good thing I didn't show you all the necklace from start to finish, just because this chain is giving me issues trying to find the blank end. I'm going to have to sit down and untangle this chain. Here we go. Here's the end. All right. Whoop. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So we'll open this back up. Now it looks like I might need to get another jump ring out. Alright. So just like the other side. Oh no! Find the end of your chain. That's okay. Not a big deal. Just kind of hook that back on like that. And there we go. That's how you fix that part. And let's see. Oh, just need one. There we go. Alright. I can tell I'm picking up fuzzies off of my mat. The tips of my pliers or grabbing stuff. Alright. Go to the end of your chain. Loop that through the link and put your clasp on that end. And voila. There we go. Now maybe that'll kind of help it center just a little bit better. And that will also add a little bit more length to it. Now, if you wanted, you could use a bigger link on your chain. That way, you or whoever you're gifting this to, they can decide where they want to clip this onto. If they want to have a little chain kind of dangle off the back, or they want to use the whole length. But there we go. Alright guys, I hope y'all enjoyed that video, and I really appreciate you guys coming and taking the time and sharing that experience with me, making this really neat little bracelet, or this, well, this is the necklace for my daughter. Hopefully she likes that. And then this really cute little bracelet for her. If I had some lime green, I would have put a lot more lime green in this because that's one of her favorite colors is lime green. But you work with what you got. So anyway, if you guys really did enjoy that, just send me a comment down below the video. And the same thing, if you have any suggestions or ideas of anything you want to see me make in the future, just let me know what you guys are thinking. And as always, you guys have an awesome day.